So I just want to make a very quick video. End of the week look at stocks and cryptocurrency. And I'll start with cryptocurrency because I don't really think there's any point wasting much time talking about it. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently at $19,268, below the $20,000 mark, which it has constantly been trying to climb above. Earlier, I believe today, it was actually below 18,800, and it got back to 19,268 because I guess there's a lot of people out there who feel that they can just take $20,000 or $40,000 and they can buy whole Bitcoins now that they think that they've reached a bottom. The reality is these people are trying to inflate the bubble again, but I believe Bitcoin's basically seen its last hurrah. The whales who got into Bitcoin in the very beginning, back when Bitcoin was like less than $100, 2010, 2011, 2012, those whales have basically cashed out and they've taken their money and ran. I believe that those whales, when they got to roughly the $60,000 range the second time, I believe that's when they said, you know what, I got to cash out and get the hell out of here. And that's just that. We were promised Bitcoin would see $100,000. As I've pointed out multiple times, the market conditions required for that no longer exist. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates. Money is no longer cheap. When people take out money now, they're going to pay for it. Not only that, we're no longer in pandemic mode. People are no longer locked in their house gambling on any and everything. So for the most part, without the government mailing you welfare checks, they call them stimulus checks, but I don't bother using that word. I call them exactly what they are. Since the government likes to lie, and I don't like to lie, I use the word that properly describes what they are. Welfare checks. I didn't get any welfare checks because I make too much money. I believe the cutoff point for welfare checks was over, I think it was $92,000 for a single person, and I believe it was $180,000 for a couple. But between the Trump presidency and the Biden presidency, I believe the rules may have been altered a little bit the second time around for people who had multiple children. Bottom line is, I didn't get any of those welfare checks to gamble away. I didn't have these little children in my house with Robinhood accounts gambling their welfare checks on Bitcoin. So for the most part, there's no capital injections to hold up cryptocurrency anymore. That's why virtually all of them are in the red. VeChain, Ripple, XRP, they're virtually all in the red for the most part. So as you can see, Ethereum is $1,059. I continue to tell you the story about people I know who were so excited that they were able to buy an entire Ethereum token. They poured $3,500 into Ethereum to get themselves a token, only now to see themselves literally lose, basically more than half of their money. I mean, it's just sad to think about it. And then you look at Litecoin. What is Litecoin? Some people, especially these fake-ass crypto gurus, they try to say, oh, Litecoin is it's like a caged bird in a mine. It's basically an indicator so that when the market starts going down, usually Litecoin goes down, and when the market's about to go up, Litecoin starts going up. And I'm like, I just don't understand how the SEC and the IRS allowed these pump and dump Ponzi crypto coin schemes to go on this long. I really just don't understand it. Dogecoin, all this bullshit, just malinvestment everywhere you look. Then there's also Coinbase and Robinhood. Robinhood, which is funny because after the Reddit apes tried to pump up AMC and GameStop, and once that pump and dump scheme was recognized by the big money in Wall Street, the banks, the government, they paused it just long enough to make sure those hedge funds could protect themselves. And then they let all of these people lose a lot of money. Most of them will never, ever see all of that. And it is so sad. And I've said this a billion times. I had friends calling me up trying to ask me about this. I had clients trying to call me up, ask me about getting into GameStop. And I told each and every one of them the exact same thing. I'm on record. There are videos of me arguing people down. Especially if you look at Ramil Amir's channel, there's videos of me arguing these people down. All these people who thought they were so fucking smart, who yeah, I'm going to get into this Reddit short squeeze. I'm going to the moon! And I told them, I said, don't put your money anywhere near this bullshit. And they tried to argue me down. Well, look where they are right now. Look where they are right now. And as for Coinbase and Robinhood, well, Coinbase was another of the typical, and I'm going to get to this also in a second. When you launch an IPO, you're supposed to have already had a business model that has proven that it's profitable. The IPO is supposed to be there as basically an offer to the initial, it's an initial public offering, that's what it means. And ultimately, the money that has been raised by venture capitalism, many of those people are going to get in on that IPO, and they're going to, in some cases, they're not going to hold that IPO. They're going to buy into it, and then they're going to cash it out in order to get back their initial investment. But what we've been seeing is IPOs being launched by companies that have never been able to prove that they were profitable. And it goes beyond Coinbase. It goes beyond Robinhood. You also have companies like Airbnb that have never been profitable. Airbnb just recently announced that they're making it so that you can't have parties. They're saying they're banning parties. Now, how that affects Airbnb, I will have to see because it's recent news. But the thing about it is Airbnb has never been profitable. And yet people bought in on the IPO because they were so excited. Coinbase was never profitable. People bought in on the IPO because they were really excited. Robinhood has never been profitable. They bought in on the IPO because they were very excited. And now they've lost pretty much more than half of their money. I don't even know where to go with it. But as far as the Redditors, I told you to stay away from that shit. I said, listen, this is a pump and dump scheme. I can see a pump and dump scheme a mile away. I don't know if it's because I'm such a good chess player, or I don't know if it's because I just learn certain things very well. But it's very easy for me to see a pump and dump scheme. Usually they all have the same thing in common. You have a company that hasn't proven that it's profitable. You have people who are probably young, looking to make a lot of money really fast that you can't trust. And for the most part, you have lots and lots of advertisement. Like, for instance, Bitcoin. You have all of these people sending chain emails. You have these people on Facebook. I've been posting them in my community chat. Hey, in fact, I'll show you one of the emails. Oh, if you just give me a little bit of money, I can make you $98,000 in no time flat. In fact, I'm going to show you that. But it just drives me crazy to watch this much malinvestment and this many scams just for the most part going unchecked. It really bothers. Sometimes I like to have fun with these scammers that are online. And basically, no matter where you start in this conversation, basically you can see the path that I took with this person. So you got this person, Julian Carroll, which somebody alerted me is actually a fake account using pictures or video that they got from some talk show or television show or something. So let's just go through this really quickly. Okay, so this person says, Bitcoin first became available for public purchase in July 2010 at a price of point. None of this shit matters because you're telling me about something a very long time ago that even if you went to me back then, I probably still wouldn't have put money into it because I never would have trusted you in the first place. It says, considering I make over $200,000 a year, I don't need to. I'm well aware of Bitcoin's history, and I'm also well aware of its present. A lot of money was spent on advertising for Bitcoin. The advertisement drew in a lot of people, and now those people are left holding the bag. Those people who find themselves with a positive net gain on Bitcoin are afraid to sell it because they have no idea where it will be 10 to 20 years from now. I could care less. My money is all liquid, and I'm not trapped in any Ponzi schemes. That was obviously my reply. But it depends on the establishment to invest your coin. Bitcoin's performance has been terrible. The market conditions allowed for it to rise, and those conditions are over. It has proven method is, well, the voice dictation kind of messes up sometimes, but I basically said it has proven that it's no hedge against inflation. It has proven that it has no store of value. It has failed to meet every single price target that was speculated for it. These morons on television and the internet were claiming it would be $100,000 by now. In fact, they claimed it would be over $100,000 by 2020 summer, which was 2 years ago. Just the people don't understand how Bitcoin work, okay? It's low and everyone is afraid of buying more Bitcoin and investing on it. What they do is sell their Bitcoin because they are scared, and when it becomes higher, then they start buying more. There's no limit to what you can achieve investing Bitcoin with the best platform, with the help of Pam. When Bitcoin is low, we team and trade our investors' coin back to their correct profits. No matter the market conditions, we tend to make profit because we trade the margin, and our stop-loss technology works perfectly. Yeah, okay, sure. Now the person had a video I replied to. I say, yeah, this is an old video. You're telling me about Bitcoin performance back in 2021. I sent the wrong file from my husband's phone. Yeah, okay, sure. So, how are you today? Excellent. Great. Have you considered to invest on your PAM account? So then I go in and show them that Bitcoin is 18,835 June 30th. That was yesterday. I'd ask how y'all are doing, but I already know. Okay, when you want to get started. Get started with what? If you invest 1 Bitcoin under the PAM account, I can assure you of making 7 Bitcoin 5 days time. First of all, how the fuck could somebody buy one? Let's say if I talk about a quarter. How the fuck do I buy 1 quarter and then I get 7 quarters in 5 days? Do you know what I mean? How stupid do you think I am? So anyway, Bitcoin is a complete waste of money. John, you were getting it all wrong, okay? I was like, yeah, if you say so. If you make a deposit of $20,000 right now, I can assure you of making $98,000 in 5 days. Now, obviously, you give one of these fuck sticks $20,000 cash, and you do it in cryptocurrency. You can almost be guaranteed that this is some Indian scammer that Kit Bogo on his channel is probably scam baiting. You can be 100% certain that this piece of shit is going to block you and delete you and disappear. You can be 100% certain of that. You can count on me, John. And if you don't want to keep the Bitcoin, your profits can also be sent directly to your bank account. Here's the deposit wallet address. Make your deposit with proof of payment followed by your personal details to set up your trading account. I mean, what's sad about this is, it's such an obvious scam. My thing is, first of all, if you're making so much money, why the fuck do you need me to send you $20,000? That's the first logical question. The next logical question is, how stupid do you think I am? Do you think I'm stupid enough to hand over $20,000 to somebody who won't even video chat? This is how you basically recognize the scammers right away. First of all, they always use these fake accounts and they refuse a video chat. Now, I know I was never going to give this person money. But what I did was I was like, okay, let me know when you're available to video chat. But this person never wanted to video chat. And I said, I need to speak to my business partners face to face. And this person says, don't throw away an opportunity of a lifetime because of fear. I said, no, that's how I work. I conduct all of my business face to face. That's not how trading works. Get the fuck out of here. How stupid do you think I am? I'm not here for personal interrogations with the minimum investment of $1,000. Now, first of all, think about this. When Bitcoin was $17,752, this asshole's asking for $1,000, and he assured me that I'll make $12,000 in 5 days. How stupid do you think I am? But let's take a look at the person's account. Julian Carroll. Now, first of all, this is a fake ass account using fake ass photos. These people don't really. I don't know why the fuck you're showing me a pasta bowl. You should be showing me piles of money. Like, if you show me piles of money, maybe you might trick me into investing. Yeah, so this is now it's all, you know what they always do? This is what they do. The scammers always get pictures of a hot white chick, and they think you're stupid enough to invest in this shit. And check it out. Most likely, it's probably that guy right there trying to get you to put your money into this shit. But this hot white chick who has children right here. Now, I heard that these people were on some television show and that this scammer stole their photos. That's what I heard. I don't know what the show was, but I'm pretty sure that the person who alerted me to the fact that these people were on a TV show, I'm pretty sure that person was 100% right. So here you have the hot white chick in some jet, the corporate private jet, taking photos, flexing the Gucci sneakers or whatever those sneakers are, flexing the Dolce Gabbanas, all that shit, just flexing. And unlike me, when I'm sitting in business class, I'm sipping champagne the whole time. Yeah, and I guess this is a photo of them probably in a Rolls Royce dealership posing with the pictures on the roof of the Rolls Royce. And I'm like, yo, guys, listen, I'm not sending you no fucking money. I'll tell you what, since you're so rich, you send me some money. I need some money. Julian Carroll. And then you look at their profile. This is their profile. Works at the New York Stock Exchange. Excuse me, I work on Wall Street. I ain't never fucking seen you. I've never seen you. Worked at Robinhood. Yeah, okay. Worked at Binary. Yeah, okay. Worked at FX Pro. Worked at BitMEX. Yeah, okay. I remember in the good old days when the scammers would just try to scam you to buy into Forex. And the foreign exchange itself is not a scam. It's just that these people were scammers trying to get your money directly and telling you that they're going to build you portfolios and everything. Look at this bullshit. Your ideas and the things that you do are dumb and stupid and make no sense until you start getting recognized and making money. Then you're a genius. So you're showing me a $66,000 balance and you're trying to make it look like you're rich and shit? I have that kind of money in the bank. I have more than that in the bank. And I didn't make it on the fucking fake-ass scheme. Okay, look at this. We got $102 million. Where's Dr. Evil? $102 million. What is this shit? So, somebody, for all I know, because you do realize you can make these. You see, and that's one of the crazy things about scamming in the digital age. You can make these screens up. Like, you can literally make anything up. Everybody knows about Photoshop and shit. Or you can just video record somebody else. Here's a question. Why is this video so old? Why is the video so old? Bitcoin never gives up. Yeah, so they post this fucking bullshit. Would you take a mansion? They're posting absolute bullshit trying to sucker people in. There was one video that they posted, and I actually said something. I was like, wait a minute, this video is old. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, it was an accident. Yeah. Look at all. Okay, so they show you all their bank withdrawal. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, come on. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. They got these video clips of people. Everybody's thanking. Oh, yeah, So this chick right here, she got herself a car thanks to Julian Carroll, which we don't know if there's any. First of all, we know this profile's fake. Second of all, we don't know if there's any connection whatsoever between this woman who's in this car and cryptocurrency of any kind. It's a damn shame. It's just ridiculous. I'm so disgusted. Where's the SEC? Where's the IRS to stop? I would just like to point out real quickly that I said I wasn't going to make this very long. Unfortunately, there's so much to say that I just kept on running on, and I'm going to keep on running on. I'll make this shit as long as I fucking feel like it. So anyway, El Salvador buys the dip in Bitcoin again. So you think that this moron, Nayib Bukele, you think he learned his lesson after buying it at 55 and then 50,000 and losing half their money? You think that El Salvador has acquired 80 more Bitcoins at a price of $19,000 each. President Nayib Bukele said Thursday in a Twitter post, which included screenshots of 40 buy transactions totaling 1.52 million. Bitcoin is the future. Thank you for selling cheap. I made a fool out of all of you while I evaporated half our money. Bukele wrote. Over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin is edging up 1.1% to 19.3 thousand, but remains down around 65% from its November peak. The Central American country's most recent Bitcoin purchase is smaller than its previous pickup of 500 tokens for 15.3 million at a price of 30.7 thousand each. The move comes even as the value in El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings are contracting 55.03%, according to CoinDesk data, adding that the country's Bitcoin portfolio is now valued at 46.6 million versus a total investment of nearly 104 million. So he's lost more than half the money. Just think about that for a second. Earlier this week, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy bought 480 Bitcoins for $10 million in cash. Wow. Now that's just stupid. I don't know what to say. Crypto mining, by the way, this is just another story, so I'll go through this really quickly. Crypto mining has gone bust. I just saw in my email that the RTX 3090 Ti video card, which would normally be selling $2,000 right now for MSRP, has dropped to $1,350. So that's a huge drop from $2,000 to $1,350. But that's because crypto mining is dead, and that's because most of these retailers can't get people to spend their money that they don't have. A lot of people are dipping into credit cards because they just don't have extra money. They're spending all their money on food and energy, and they don't even want to be spending the extra money on food and energy, but they really don't have a choice. So the Bitcoin mining is dead. El Salvador has lost more than half its money. MicroStrategies has lost a large amount of money, but I haven't seen a full breakdown. I'll definitely make a video when I do. They're talking about how badly Bitcoin's quarter was. And the one thing I did want to point out, there was an ETF that they tried to get the SEC to approve, and that ETF was turned down. And basically, I think the SEC at this point is starting to clamp down on this nonsense because ultimately, I think because of the malinvestment, I think a lot of people, you see, the problem is people don't seem to understand your money is in no way insured. Not only did these motherfucking liars try to convince you that you'd get a dividend by staking your Bitcoin. There is no that's not a dividend. A dividend is when a corporation makes profit and they share the profit with the investors. That's not what this is. These people think that the rules of banking apply when they go into this crypto shit. It doesn't. If all your money disappears tomorrow, FDIC doesn't give a fuck. The FDIC insures bank savings deposits up to $250,000. But as for your cryptocurrency, you get no assurances whatsoever. So, when they talk about this being a store of, I swear, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. When they say that it's a store of value, they say Bitcoin is a store of value, and they try to convince people that it's a store of value, and they try to convince people that they should put their retirement savings or some portion of their retirement into this shit. And then all of a sudden their money just evaporates like naive Bukele's more than half of El Salvador's money. What are you to do when you've put your money that you've been earning, you've been working, you've been earning money, you've been quote unquote saving your money into this fucking bullshit, and half your money fucking disappears? Like, what are you to do? Who are you to turn to? So I'm pretty sure the SEC is probably getting a lot of complaints. As they said, Voyager, right here, Voyager digital stock sinks after halting withdrawals and deposits. These people, like you've heard some people online saying, "Oh, you know what? You shouldn't have had your money in an exchange. The exchange means you don't really own your Bitcoin." And I'm like, you mean to tell me that all these people rushed out and put all this malinvestment into this fucking garbage, and now they find out that they're in a situation where they can't sell it at will, or they can't take possession of it because they don't have. I mean, where's the SEC? Like, the SEC should be chopping heads right now. Like, where are these people? They went after Jordan Belfort for less. Like, they went after Jordan Belfort for like penny stocks. Like, this is worse than the shit that you saw Bernie Madoff do. Where is the SEC? Why isn't the SEC blowing these buildings up? Like, why is the SEC? Why don't they have like heavily armed soldiers busting down doors and throwing in flashbangs and shooting anything that moves? Like, what are they doing? Like, this is the worst Ponzi scheme I've ever seen. This makes Tulip Mania look like a picnic. And they got all this. This is ridiculous. But you know what? Listen. I put my money into real estate. I put my money into dividend-paying stock. So the reality is, it's like, listen, if y'all want to keep on doing this shit so y'all can get to the moon and Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune and Pluto, well, y'all go right on ahead, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to be right here on Earth all by myself, get rid of you motherfuckers. I'll be able to drive my cars as fast as I want, because there'll be none of you left here on Earth. You and everybody in El Salvador will be living on Pluto. You'll all be living on Pluto. I don't know where you're going to get your oxygen and your sunlight, but you're going to be living on Pluto. And, I'm going to be right here because I missed the Bitcoin wave. Yeah, I'm going to be right here on Earth. Yeah. Airlines right now are on sale. Now, I have said this before. Airlines are taking massive hits right now, just like they were when COVID-19 traffic restrictions started. But at this point, what you're seeing pilots picketing and striking, specifically Delta Airline, which Delta Airline is probably one of the top-rated American air carriers, despite the fact that all of the American air carriers are shit. All of them. The best American air carrier doesn't even come close to your average Asian air carrier. China Eastern Airlines, for example, I'll take them over any American air carrier any day of the week. Emirates, obviously, as you see me in the business class, sipping the champagne, flying to Maldives, I would take, if I could have Emirates fly me back and forth to work, I would do that. I wouldn't want to be on an air carrier from America at all. But the reality is, it's like if you're flying domestically, you don't get such choices. So anyway, as you see, these Delta pilots were picketing. This was a big picket. They got the Delta pilots walking around. Nobody's flying the planes. Things got so bad that supposedly Delta was offering people up to $10,000 because of their flights being lost. Says hundreds of off-duty pilots picketed Delta Airlines at hubs across the U.S. Even with pilots flying record amounts of overtime this year, cancellations remain high. The perfect storm is occurring July 4th weekend. And, things are bad. Things are really bad. This is, like, I am so lucky that I bought my tickets to Maldives on Emirates back in November, Black Friday, because if I was trying to leave right now, my tickets would have cost me more than twice as much. And on top of that, I would have been facing the possibility of missed flights, shortages, and this, that, and other. So Delta's stock right now, as you can see, Delta dropped from $29.71 down to $28.90. Oh, well, what is this? Down to $28.75. Now, if you look at it over the last 3 months, it's down from over $45 down to it's down to 29.52. So Delta, if you're the type of person, you got $1,000 sitting around and you got nothing else to put it into, but you want to put it into something, Delta Airlines is probably where you want to get in because, you're basically at the ground floor. But if you look at the performance of Delta, Delta has been pretty good. So the question is, how long can you wait to see your profit? That's the question. But there are other airlines, and the other ones aren't doing much better. JetBlue. JetBlue has proven that it is worthwhile. It hasn't gone bankrupt. I don't think it's in any fear of going bankrupt. And JetBlue, basically, they operate a lot of flights to, parts of Latin America, parts of the Caribbean. I like JetBlue. They're okay. I mean, their jets are new, and they're pretty all right. Their issue is now you can get JetBlue for less than $10. Now, this is exactly like it was back during the pandemic when I told y'all as soon as these things crashed back in March 2020, JetBlue was $7.48. So even if you bought it back then when I told you to buy it, you'd still be up $1. But the thing about it is JetBlue, as you can see, without the issues of Russia and all the other shit, like these stupid administration problems, JetBlue rose as high as, what is this, $21. And then it dropped down to less than 10. It's $8.53. So again, if you're the type of person who's got $1,000, you don't know what to put it into, well, JetBlue. There's also Boeing. Boeing is $139. If you look at Boeing's performance, Boeing is military industrial complex. Boeing is one of those companies that if the government needs to, the government will bail it out. But Boeing doesn't need to be bailed out. The reason why is because Boeing has to make all these parts for all these planes. Boeing makes military weapon systems, military parts. Boeing will be just fine. The question is, can you get into Boeing before Boeing returns to greatness? Now, if I'm telling you about this stuff, and this is long term, it could take 10 years before you see the fruits of your investment. It could take 5 years. Right now, we're in a situation where the market is so bad, you just don't know. You've also got American Airlines out there. You've got American Airlines or United Airlines. Now, these American air carriers, as shitty as I think they are, the reality is it's domestic and that's what we got. The reality is, it's available. I mean, it's on sale. So the market is not that great right now for what is it called, airlines. But the reality is, the market will return, and that also pretty much applies to Chinese airlines and Chinese stocks in general. Because I've posted my Chinese stocks using my TD Ameritrade, which I'm not using right now. China had the lockdown for COVID, and they've had pretty strict lockdowns, right? I have friends who live in China, and I talk to them about what's going on over there. So as far as Chinese electric vehicles, there's not really that big a need for them right now because things are not normal right now in China because they've got these fucking lockdowns. When things get back to normal, then you will see all of those Chinese stocks, the airlines. Because first of all, right now, if you're in China and you want to fly somewhere, you can't because they have the lockdown. So the reality is, it's like, once things get back to normal, we'll be okay if you're invested in China. And a lot of people are basically saying, investing in foreign exchange and foreign stocks is a good idea because we're going to see some major declines in the dollar. We're going to see some major fluctuations. But my thing is, I'd say, betting on foreign exchange, foreign stocks, I think it's a good idea. Just don't bet on Russia. And after what we saw America do to Russia through sanctions, it's also probably, if you're in Chinese stocks, you might not want to be in those either if you're not already in them. But the issue is we just can't be certain where things are going, because as we've seen, our government acts unilaterally, and it acts like ridiculously unconstitutionally in many cases. And the reality is we just don't know where any of this is going. But the problem is, it's kind of like a lotto ticket. If you're not in it, you can't win it, and that's just the reality. Now, don't try to take my words and apply it to cryptocurrency, because that shit's a Ponzi scheme. So, you could be in it if you want while you're on Pluto and shit. I'll be right here on Earth just chilling. So, automobile companies, because of these supply shortages, are hurt. Automobile companies are way down. But the reality is, those supply issues, the chip shortages, those aren't going to last forever. Even Facebook is down, but I don't give a goddamn about Facebook. I hope they go bankrupt, honestly. So anyway, Intel has to do with computer chips and silicon manufacturing and whatnot. AMD is the same thing. AMD is at $73. Now, I've always said AMD was undervalued. I was telling you to buy AMD at $50. Anybody who listened to me about AMD and Logitech and how I was telling you to buy it at $50, you easily saw yourself gain some money on those. Right now, you're still at $73, but I still say AMD is undervalued. So the reality is AMD, Intel, these things are way undervalued. These chip shortages are fucking up everything. It's like televisions, cars, video game systems, computers. Everything is taking a dive because of this computer chip shortage. So again, you've got to be in it for the long run. You can't panic and just run away, and think that you're gonna win in the end. You just can't. I'm sorry. I think anything else, the only other thing that there is really worth talking about is the automobile companies. And as you can see, the automobile companies are mostly fucked, especially for the electric companies. Now, you'll notice that Ford, GM, and Stellantis, I got into all of these things when they were at their lowest. Ford specifically, Stellantis also. And the reality is, I'm still way up on those, so I'm not panicking whatsoever. I've also been quietly buying Rivian, Lucid, and Fisker. As you know, I took pieces of Candy and Neo and Lee and XPEV a while ago, XPEV. But as I said, Neo, Lee, XPEV, and Candy, those are all the Chinese stocks. Those are hurting right now, but they will return. It's going to take some time, but China has to get their shit back together. But it's going to take some time. It's this fucking bullshit COVID nonsense. But anyway, these electric companies, as I've said, electric is the future. If you don't see it, then you're just not going to be in it. Electric is the future. And I'm getting my electric car from GM, Cadillac. And if you want to sit around in your little gas-guzzling fart can mobile, well, then you do that. Thing about it is, while you're online at some gas station somewhere, I'm going to have a plug running from like my house into the car, and I'll just be charging my car. And just in case, like, you want to make a joke and be like, oh yeah, well, your lithium battery might explode. Well, first of all, I'm going to park my car as close to my neighbor's house as possible, and we'll charge it there instead of putting it in a garage or putting it inside my house. No. We'll just move it close to the fence. So if they have to come and douse that thing out and hand me my insurance check, then so be it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cadillac has this shit together in a way that Tesla probably doesn't. So, I'm not really worried about that. But who else? Alibaba, they've been trying to make their comeback. That's Chinese stock again. So, that's an issue. Ultimately, it's Chinese stock. And who else? Everybody else seems to be, just coming along. Uber's doing its thing. Nike could be better, but right now they're suffering consumer blues. Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, those are our war military-industrial complex They're trying to sell those F-35s to, these Europeans who are scared shitless because Uncle Vladimir is blowing the shit out of them if they step up. But the reality is, guys, it's like, listen, if y'all have F-35s, it ain't going to make a goddamn bit of difference if you piss Russia off. Because I think Russia's already shown you. It's like, we're not fucking around. Comrade, we're not fucking around. So if you want to put those weapons in those NATO countries, let me tell you something. Vladimir Putin and Russia, they'll step all over you and then dare you to do something about it because they got nukes pointed at you. So it's like, if you want to watch Finland disappear off the map, if you want to watch Poland disappear off the map, if you want Captain Ramus, what is his name? Marco Ramius. If you want Captain Marco Ramius with the Red October to fire a continental nuclear ballistic missile right in your backyard, oh yeah, well, you keep on pissing those people off. See, if it was up to me, I would have left them alone. But y'all, these neocons in my government, they just don't stop. So I'll tell you what, when Red October parks next to New York and it starts firing the missiles, all I can say is I told you so. Because you didn't hear Red October just sneak up to you and it's sitting right there. You didn't even know it was there. And it's firing missiles and shit in your backyard. You guys are stupid. You're stupid. But that's what you get when your son's a crackhead and has a child porn on a fucking laptop. That's what you get. So anyway, I think I've covered enough for the market at this point. I think I've covered enough because at this point, most of the stuff is anybody's guess. But the bottom line is, if you have any money whatsoever left that you can invest, there's plenty of investment opportunities. I'm still pretty much investing $2,000 per month. The majority of that being YouTube money. And, I just put that in there because the way I see it is the only other thing I can do with that money is waste it. Like, I'd either have wasted it on jewelry or spinning rims or some stupid shit. Or Balenciaga sneakers or something like that. Just stupid nonsense. And that's the sad thing. I feel bad for people who have YouTube accounts and they spend every last dime they make. It's like, you need to invest that money. And when I say invest, I'm not talking about the cryptocurrency shit. I'm talking about putting that money into something that's intelligent, that pays a dividend. So basically, that's my Friday night rundown of the market. Yes, it's been hell this week. The Dow is down. Actually, it's up today just to 31,000, but the Dow is significantly down on the fears of unemployment. And I've also noticed that gold is up again. Like, you can see the trend line for gold. Part of that is probably because we've tried to put sanctions on Russian gold, and I think Europe has put sanctions on Russian gold. So I think the American gold market is up because of that. But again, the entire market is down. I think the Dow was about 37,000 and it's all down to 31,000, right? But we've seen this before and we're going to keep seeing this. You have to be positioned for the future. 5 years from now, I guarantee you, I'm going to be walking around with a smile on my face. I'll be looking at all these videos, just like I've been pointing back to the videos I told you about oil and the videos I told you about buying this, buying that. 5 years from now, I'm going to be looking back. I'm going to be smiling on this shit. The beautiful thing about it is the money that I've been putting into the market, I don't need to panic and pull that money out. I can put that money in there, let it sit there, and just sit there. The other money that I have that I'm going to use to go to Bora Bora, to buy my Bora Bora ticket, and to, fly business class to Bora Bora, it's like, that's just money on the side. I'm not worried about that. And that's the mindset you have to have. When you're investing, you got to pay off all your debts. No credit card debt, no student loan debt, no car loan debt. And you take all your extra money and you put it into a good portfolio. And when you make your portfolio, make it work for you. Get dividend-paying stocks. I've already shared with you my dividend-paying stock list. That's how you got to do it. And if you don't do it that way, you're going to regret it. I mean, listen, if y'all want to buy that cryptocurrency shit, you want to help pump that bubble so you can put that money in somebody else's pocket, that's up to you. That you're free in this country. You can do whatever you want. except having abortion in some states thanks to Clarence Thomas. But bottom line is, it's like the smart thing to do is put your money in situations where it's going to work for you.